I'm Joan Clark.
And I'm Cal Clark.
We started Clark's Corvair Parts in 1973, moving out of our house and started these buildings in 1979.
We're doing this video tour, but if you're ever in the Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts area, please stop by and have a personal tour. Clark's Corvair Parts is located on Route 2, also known as the Mohawk Trail. We're about 120 miles west of Boston and about 10 miles south of the Vermont border. We started our first building in 1978, moving in 1979. Before the end of that year, we had started building 2 and also building 3. This is the west end of building 1. This is building 7. This is our smallest building. Our buildings are numbered by the year they were built, not their location on the property. This one's mainly for bulk storage. It also houses the trailer that we take to shows and our snowblower. The next building is building 3. Right above that is building 4. And above that is our new solar installation. At 80 kW, it's expected to supply 30 to 40% more electricity than we need. The farthest building up the hill is building 6. The next building is building 5, where we do our printing. And this was the last building we built, building 8. This is our largest building and was finished in 1992. Let's take a look inside. Here you're looking down a 110-foot aisle of used parts. Those rows go back in 12 feet. This building's mainly for bulk storage. Cardboard boxes, large shipments of parts. Way on the back wall we store our catalog. This is another view of it. The pallets go up 18 feet. Because there's no additional space on this property, we've got to keep everything neat and learn to live with the buildings we now have. We don't sell parts at the door, but if you were coming for a tour, you'd enter in through here. As you come into our entryway, you'll notice a very interesting clock that was made for us by Don Sylvia. We're going to start in aisle 1 in building 1. When we started 40 years ago, we had 150 parts coming from probably 6 different suppliers. At that point, we decided to start numbering at C1, but none of us can remember whether C1 stood for Clark or Corvair. The ordering process has changed quite a bit in 40 years. When we started, probably 85% of our orders were by mail. 15% were by phone. Now approximately 35% of our orders come over the internet. Approximately 50% are by phone. And about 15% mail or fax. We can send you samples of nearly everything that we produce ourselves, and these are some of the shelves that have all the samples. These are sets of fuel lines, coil springs down at the bottom. There's no real sequence other than the part number sequence. As the part numbers were added, you might have a t-shirt next to a rubber grommet, next to an engine part, next to a shock absorber, next to a heater hose. Because our order takers also pull orders and pack orders, the order taking areas are in various places within the building.
Yeah. It is. What would you like to use?
Nadine has worked for us for 26 years.
Okay,
Here she's training another person who's actually taking an order live right now. We're now on the second floor. And even more shelves on the second floor. Brake lines and gas lines. You can probably guess what's on the third floor. Yes, 200 more shelves. We're now in Building 2. Building 2 is where all the deliveries come, and Cheryl has to open each box, determine what company it came from, and assign our part number. Half of Building 2 is for receiving parts. The other part is for making our kits. This is the section where engine gaskets are put together. We have thousands of kits. We consider a kit anything that we have to put several parts together and sell it as one part number. So in this building we have nuts, bolts, screws, bushings, gaskets, washers, anything at all that goes into a kit that we produce. We run our whole business on a max-min system. Every single part number, and if you consider the bolts and nuts and screws and all the other parts, we probably have close to 25,000 part numbers in our system, so that when the inventory gets down to a minimum amount, we'll know to order. Every night the computer checks all the kits, all the parts, and the next day we'll print out anything that we need to assemble as kits, and it tells people that do the ordering that they need to order from a particular supplier. We currently have over 500 suppliers that we buy from. We'll now take a look at how a kit is actually assembled. The computer does a printout that shows us how many kits we need and exactly what goes into them. The person making the kit gets all the parts out. In this case, we're doing carburetor kits, and carburetor kits we usually do about 800 a year. You start with the instructions, add a few more parts, add a few more parts, and then put them in the envelope. Mark oversees the day-to-day operations of the business, so I've got more time to play with my Corvairs. Today is going to give you a quick introduction to our website.
Here we are at our home page, which you can reach by Corvair.com. And you can order parts by part number or by index. For ordering parts by the part number, you can go to the link. The top link in the first column is the order parts. And you can enter in your part number to order. Here we've put in a carburetor part number. One of the many features of our site that we've added is photographs to some of the items. You can click on the photograph for a better view of that, get a nice close view, and then exit out, and you can add the part to your order. You can also go to the catalog page that the part is on and look for more information there. In the top yellow bar, you can get back to our index to find the next part that you might be interested in, which today might be a carpet. So we go to C in the index and click on the carpets, which are on page 280. Once you're on the page of the catalog, you can click on any part number on any page of our catalog to get pricing or more info, or to order the part. For a carpet color, you would need to know what color you'd want from the page you were looking at, which you can go back to here for 280, or you can hit the sub menu, and if you know the carpet color code that you want, you would click it here, add it, and then add to your shopping cart. When looking at any of our part numbers online, when you're getting ready to order, when you bring in the part number, it'll also bring additional items here. And these are other items that closely match that part number and may be something you want to consider if that is not in stock or you want one of these other items instead. Here we are at our checkout page. On some smaller monitors, you may not see these icons over on the right. You'd have a bar down here to scroll over so that you can see the delete or add to your wish list items. By putting in your zip code and any one of these selections for a ship method, you can estimate the shipping. And the estimated shipping is simply that, an estimate. Due to the complexity of the UPS shipping, the variety of parts we sell, the shipping estimates are just rough estimates. We only charge you the actual shipping cost. We do not charge any handling or box fees. Once you've seen your estimated shipping and you want to check out, your checkout button is clicked. You go to the next screen to fill out your information, credit card payment. That sometime is missed. You must check off the box next to the credit card payment if that's how you're paying. We have different payment options, and when paying by a credit card, you must check this box. Due to the complexity of our catalog and ordering parts, our site does take a little getting used to. We have a lot of options there for you to look at. For a much more detailed video of the use of our internet site and ordering site, please go to the YouTube video. There you could click on the Clark's YouTube videos, and from there will be a link that says Intro to Clark's Internet Site.
Kathy was our first full-time employee starting in 1977. Today she's going to give you an idea of what our order takers see on their screen.
When you call in and place an order, we're going to ask you for your customer number. And if you have your number handy, it's great. If not, we can search out by your last name and zip code. What we do is the number pulls in your customer information. We verify the name and address and phone number, and we'll also verify the year of the car that you're ordering for. When you give us the part number, we enter it into our system, and something like this, a gas tank, it pulls in, it tells us it's in stock, the current price, and it also has what we call upsell, which gives us some items that we're going to suggest that you also order along with that gas tank. So when you get it at your place, you're ready to install it with all the parts you need. When you're done with the order, we can tell you how much it's going to cost to have it shipped. If you want to go by UPS, we can give you an estimate for your zone. It would be about $22. If you think you need it a lot faster and you want to go a UPS next day air service, we can let you know that the shipping would be about $91. This is just at a touch of our fingers, and it really gives you an idea of what you are going to run into for an expense. We can also give you the estimated delivery time for your zone, and when we're done, we'll give you a total for the parts, the shipping, grand total, and the estimated time to get it shipped to you. We save this, and then it goes right to our pick ticket printer where they can then pull the order.
No matter which order taker takes the order, they are all printed out at this printer. Once the orders come off the printer, they're sorted out depending on how they are going to get shipped, if they're a rush, if they have to go to the other buildings, or if they've got to wait for parts to come from another building. No conveyor systems here. Once an order is pulled, it makes its way down towards the packing room. We get a tremendous variety of orders. There may be an order with trim, maybe an order with coil springs, may have both in the same order. Once your order makes it to packing, we've got 50 different boxes to choose from, and the person has to decide exactly the best way to pack it. We normally ship either UPS or post office. This is the final packing side of the room. Here they enter the order number, process the credit card, and do the final sealing and attaching of the label. This room has 6 different printers. If there's a refund check or a shipping label, your final order copy. Once the label goes on your package, it goes on to one of our small hand trucks. During our busy time of the year, we may have 3 or 4 or more of these hand trucks absolutely chocked full of parts. UPS picks them up at the end of the day, and they're on the way to you. Thanks for your support over all these years.